In 2020, a study was conducted to see which age group spent the most money on clothing. Can you guess? I was slightly surprised, but also it made a lot of sense when I heard it. Women aged 35 to 44. That's the age group that apparently spent the most money on women's and girls' clothing in 2020. Now, that doesn't surprise me. Just getting into my 30s myself, you're starting to get a little bit more disposable income. You're thinking about maybe more premium and luxury purchases, which automatically drives that price tag up pretty quickly. But today, I'm not going to be talking about shop less, don't shop at all, shop more. I'm going to be talking about how I am choosing to shop smart into my womanhood. And I think not only shopping smart will help my wallet, but it's also going to help my style in the long game. So today, without further ado, my name is Amanda Weldon. Welcome to my little nook of the internet. These are my shopping rules. The first rule in shopping rules is anything that I pick up now has to go with at least 3 things already existing in my wardrobe. So no matter what, I have slowly been curating this collection. That's another thing. I love using the word collection versus wardrobe because a collection, when you think of it, it's a group of items that just go together. So I think this is my clothing collection, not my wardrobe. When I'm curating my collection, I want to be able to choose, okay, this from there, this from there, this from there, and have them all go together. It's really important to start choosing pieces that actually go with existing pieces in your wardrobe, and my magic number is 3. Number 2 is it also has to follow my either style guide or my palette. So when you're building a brand or a company, a business, a portfolio, you really want to identify your brand. You are your own personal brand. So what is your palette? How do you want to show up, and what are the colors that go best with your eyes, your hair, your skin tone? What makes you feel the best? I also think about palettes as there's a seasonality to them. So this is my autumn and winter palette, and this is my summer and spring palette. Naturally, different colors come out in different seasons. It just makes sense whether you're a retailer or anything like that. You're just gonna naturally see different colors within the stores. But the same thing goes for how you are going to curate your collection. So now when I'm shopping for fall and winter, I'm really looking for clothing that follows this palette specifically, because I know that if I do that, it's gonna really help me fulfill my first rule. And these are all kind of a waterfall effect. I also mentioned following my style guide. So when you have a new brand, you have basically the first ground floor of building a brand is building a visual identity guide. And that will be, these are the fonts that I want to use. These are the colors. This is the way things are going to lay out. This color has to go with this color. It can't go with that kind of thing. The same thing goes for you. So where do you want your style to go? Oftentimes when I think about where I want my style to go in the winter, it's this. These are the images that I look towards when I really am thinking about my style. And inside of the shopping mall or looking online has also helped me really think longer about the pieces that I'm selecting. And I thought it would be the complete opposite, but it allows me to kind of go back to a piece, look at it a few times, and then decide if I actually want to go see it in person. But what I've realized, and what I was kind of alluding to earlier, is that finding your personal style and going into a shop can be really hard without shopping rules, because you will just go into that shop and just look for something you like. Not necessarily is something you like something that goes within your personal style. So I have recently come to the conclusion that I can like something and at the same time it can be not for me. Number 3, I alluded to in number 2, I must have seen it before. So this can't just be the first time that I'm seeing it, I'm picking it off the rack and I'm walking up to the register. That is the recipe for an impulse purchase. I really like thinking about things now, and I really like giving myself time to digest it and really decide, is this for me? Does this follow my style identity guide? Does this go with things already existing in my wardrobe? And can I see myself wearing this not only this season, but year after year? Giving ourselves time in between making that pickup to purchase gives us the opportunity to decide whether that piece is going to be timeless. And inherently within these rules, something that is amazing that comes out of it is a longer term sustainability for each garment. I also like to follow the rule, I can't stop thinking about it. So sometimes there will be moments where you pick something up in a store and you're like, oh, I really like that. You go to the food court and you're like, no, I really like it. I still want to get it. No, give yourself some more time than just going to the food court to pick up tea. If it is days, even there are some garments like my most recent luxury purchase of this Chloe Woody tote bag, I was thinking about this for quite literally months. And it seems really weird that I made this purchase specifically in a winter month because it is clearly a summer bag, but that is how much time I really wanted to invest in making sure that this was gonna be the right purchase for me. And it's gonna be primed, prepped, and ready for me as soon as those warmer months hit. And I guarantee I'm gonna be breaking out in winter anyways, because I love it. Speaking of that phrase, I love it. Number 4 has to be an enthusiastic yes. Okay, what is a moment in life that you were like, yes, no, I have to have that, or I have to do that, or this is so me. Enthusiastic yeses. If you are gonna paint your entire house a color, it better be an enthusiastic yes, because that is a taxing amount of time, amount of effort, amount of money. Your purchases should be viewed at in the exact same way. And this rule specifically, out of all of the rules, has helped me avoid unnecessary purchases by just telling myself, okay, I like this. Okay, I love this. But is this an enthusiastic yes? Is this the material I like? Is it actually worth the amount of money, me working to pay for this garment? Am I gonna wear this a lot? Is it gonna wash really well? Is it gonna go with other things in my wardrobe? An enthusiastic yes has so many more layers to it than just I really like this garment. Number 5, and this does go for high street purchases, but especially this goes for premium and luxury purchases because they are at a higher price point, is I have to already have the money in the bank. So I most recently made my first luxury purchase to premium purchase. It was this coat, and I had actually saved up over quite a few months, if not weeks, to pay for this coat. And it felt so much better making sure that I had the money in the bank already versus paying it off, because when I pressed purchase, I had basically paid myself that money to allocate towards that fund. So what I did was I have a couple of different bank accounts for saving, and I just allocated one of those bank accounts towards this coat fund, and I would just put a little bit money here and there, and then when I actually went to go make that purchase, it just felt so much better knowing that I had already prepared those funds for that purchase. And then I didn't have any of that self-doubt that maybe someone who has a bit of a shopping addiction might have, where I didn't feel scared to, put away the tag or hide the purchase or anything like that. I truly just felt good about it because I knew I had earned it for myself. That is obviously a bit more of an extreme example when we are talking to saving funds because it was one item and a chunk of change. But I think that this also goes if you're just going for a shopping trip with your mom or your girlfriends, or there is something specific that you would like to buy online, whether it be $40, $30, just make sure that you can pay it off right away. It's just gonna make you feel so much better. Actually, I don't wanna sound preachy. This is my rule, so if you adopt that rule, that's awesome. But dear Amanda, make sure you have the money before you make that purchase. The very last thing I wanna say isn't necessarily a rule, but it's a myth that I've broken inside of my head. And this is after doing research or looking up videos like this for a couple of years, trying to figure out what my style is. And I constantly see people say, my number one rule or one of my rules is I don't buy duplicates. And I get it. I get that you want to make sure that you streamline your wardrobe, but I do have to say, your girl loves a knit and loves a turtleneck knit. And I know that because that's a part of my everyday uniform, that is a piece that I'm gonna grab for again and again and again. So having a duplicate is actually pretty awesome. Like I have the same turtleneck in blue and black, and then quite a few knits that are also turtlenecks. I consciously made the decision not to wear one today because I realized in all of my YouTube videos, I'm wearing turtlenecks. I actually had a girl comment, you have a lot of nice turtlenecks. So buying duplicates can also try to help you find your style. Now, you don't wanna go out of control, obviously, by having 9 of the same thing. But I do find sometimes by looking at the things that I grab for every single day, that actually could be a North Star into what my style is, what I feel comfortable in. Ding, ding, ding. You want to buy things you're comfortable in as well. That's kind of like an obvious rule that isn't necessarily within my shopping rules. But by following that, you're almost defining your style guide. I didn't want to overwhelm you with like 10 to 20 rules that I follow while shopping. It's truly just these 5 solid rules that I follow. I'll put them down below as well if you want to reference back to them or write them down in a journal, if you want to copy them exactly, or if you want to add to them in the comments below. Tell me your rules that you follow when you go shopping, or like one of your cult favorite #1 things that you keep in mind when you are making a purchase. I would love to hear it because we love to spend a little bit more intentionally. Remember that you can like something and it can be not for you, and that's okay. And something that is an enthusiastic yes. Whether today was the first time you've ever thought about shopping rules or you've thought about it for a really long time, I would absolutely love a thumbs up on this video and a comment about an enthusiastic yes purchase that you have made or a shopping rule that you also have. I kind of left out it can't be itchy or it's got to be, you know, looking at the quality of the clothing, but I feel like that was a no-brainer. This was more on making that cha-chang purchase. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.